Ladies and gentlemen, as we step into 2025, let me remind you of something simple but profound. This year is yours. Not your neighbors, not your colleagues, yours. And if it's yours, you better own it. You see, too many of us are running races we never signed up for, chasing dreams that don't belong to us, competing in games we don't even understand. But here's the truth: you can't win someone else's race. You weren't built for it. Your life is a book, a story unfolding chapter by chapter, moment by moment. Every decision you make, every choice you embrace is a sentence written on its pages. But here's the thing: this book is uniquely yours. It is your story, your journey, your masterpiece. Yet too often we let others grab the pen. We allow their opinions, expectations, and judgments to dictate the plot of our lives. It's time to stop. It's time to reclaim the pen and write the story you were meant to tell. Think about it. No one else has lived your life. No one else has felt your struggles, learned your lessons, or dreamed your dreams. So why would you let anyone else decide what's best for you? When you let others hold the pen, you surrender control. You give away the power to shape your destiny. You allow someone else's voice to overshadow your own. Maybe it's fear that makes you hand over the pen, fear of failure, fear of judgment, fear of standing out. It's easy to believe that someone else might know better or that their path is safer. But here's the truth: no one else can walk your path. They can't see what you see. They don't know what lights you up, what drives you, what keeps you going when things get hard. Only you do. The world will always have opinions about your story. People will tell you how to live, what to do, who to be. They'll try to convince you that their way is the right way. But their voices are just noise. Your life is not a democracy where everyone gets a vote. It's a monarchy, and you are the ruler. Your voice is the one that matters. Reclaiming the pen means taking responsibility. It means owning your decisions, your actions, and their consequences. It's not always easy. Sometimes you'll make mistakes, you'll write a few messy chapters. But that's okay. Those mistakes are part of your story. They're the moments that teach you, shape you, and make the victory sweeter. Don't be afraid to edit, to rewrite, to start a new chapter. Your story doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to be yours. You can't rewrite the past, but you can learn from it. You can take those lessons and write a future that aligns with who you truly are. When you hold the pen, you become the author of your destiny. You choose your goals, your values, your dreams. You decide what kind of character you want to be, what battles you want to fight, and what triumphs you want to achieve. You create a story worth living, one that reflects your authenticity and purpose. So take the pen back, hold it firmly, write with courage, with passion, with honesty. Your life is a book that only you can create, and when the final chapter is written, let it be a story that you're proud of, one that truly belongs to you. In a world where social media dominates and comparison is just a scroll away, it's easy to get caught up in the trap of measuring your success by someone else's achievements. You see their highlight reels, the perfect photos, the smooth careers, the polished relationships, and suddenly you feel like you're not doing enough. But here's the hard truth: those highlight reels are not your reality, and they shouldn't be the measure of your worth. You can't let someone else's success dictate your progress. The only measure that matters is your own growth. The truth is, we all have different paths. No two journeys are the same. What works for one person may not work for you, and what someone else achieves in a year may take you 5 years to accomplish. That's okay. You don't have to match someone else's timeline because your growth is unique. If you're always comparing your steps to theirs, you're only setting yourself up for frustration and disappointment. What you should focus on is how far you've come. Think about it. Where were you last year? What lessons did you learn? What challenges did you overcome? How did you evolve? These are the questions you should be asking yourself. When you measure progress by your own growth, you honor the effort, the struggle, and the resilience that's gotten you to where you are today. Every step forward, no matter how small, is an achievement. And those small victories, they compound over time, turning into something far greater than any one moment of success someone else may flaunt. We all have our battles. Some of us fight internal wars no one else can see: mental health struggles, self-doubt, past trauma, and yet every day we keep going. When you focus on your growth, you start to appreciate the victories that others may overlook. Maybe you didn't land your dream job yet, but you made strides in your personal development. Perhaps your relationships aren't picture perfect, but you've become a better communicator or a more compassionate person. These are the milestones that matter. It's easy to look at someone else's highlight reel and think they have it all figured out. But what you're not seeing are the struggles, the failures, the setbacks that they face before reaching that moment. Everyone has a story behind their success. The truth is, most of the people you admire probably went through a lot of pain, rejection, and failure to get where they are. Instead of comparing yourself to them, use their journey as inspiration. Learn from it, but don't let it make you feel less than. Measure your progress by your growth, by how much you've learned, by how many obstacles you've overcome, by how far you've come from where you started. Your story is yours alone, and it's one that deserves to be celebrated. If you focus on your own journey and progress, you'll realize that the only race that matters is the one against yourself. Each day, each step is an opportunity to become a better version of who you were yesterday. And that in itself is success. In a world that constantly demands your attention, it's easy to get swept away in a sea of distractions and obligations. People pull you in different directions, opportunities come knocking, and before you know it, you're stretched thin, overwhelmed, and drained. The truth is, you only have so much energy to give. If you're not intentional about where you direct it, you'll find yourself giving pieces of yourself away to things that don't truly matter. That's why it's crucial to protect your energy by learning the power of saying no. Saying no isn't just about turning down invitations or rejecting tasks. It's about being intentional with your time and your emotional well-being. Every yes to something or someone is a no to something else, usually yourself. When you say yes to every request or expectation that comes your way, you're not giving yourself the space to focus on what's most important. And let's be real, not everything that's thrown your way deserves your time, your effort, or your energy. Think about how much of your energy gets consumed by things that don't align with your purpose or values. You might say yes to social events that drain you, take on projects at work that don't move you forward, or agree to help others without considering whether it's something you truly want or can handle. While helping others is important, it's equally important to know your limits. You cannot pour from an empty cup. The more you give away without regard to your own needs, the less you have for yourself, and eventually you'll burn out. Protecting your energy means being mindful of what and who you allow into your life. Not every invitation, every request, or every opportunity deserves your attention. By learning to say no to distractions and unnecessary obligations, you create the space to focus on what truly matters. This might mean turning down certain social events to prioritize your mental health, or saying no to extra work commitments so you can have time to rest or pursue personal goals. It might mean setting boundaries with people who drain your energy, even if it feels uncomfortable at first. But in the long run, it's the only way to keep your energy intact and use it for things that align with your goals. Saying no also means protecting your peace. There are so many distractions in life: news, social media, negative people, toxic environments that can steal your focus and take away your joy. These distractions not only waste your time, but they also diminish your energy. When you're constantly exposed to negativity or mindless distractions, you're left with less mental and emotional bandwidth to focus on your passions, your personal growth, or your purpose. The more you protect your energy, the more you can invest in the things that matter. It's important to remember that saying no doesn't make you selfish. In fact, it's one of the most self-aware things you can do. It's an act of self-respect. By protecting your energy, you ensure that you have enough to invest in the things that bring you joy, fulfillment, and growth. You're not being unkind or inconsiderate. You're simply setting the boundaries necessary to stay true to yourself and your goals. And in the end, when you protect your energy, You'll be able to show up more fully for the things and people that truly deserve your time and attention. In a world that thrives on competition, it's easy to get caught up in the constant comparison game. You see others achieving things you desire, excelling in areas where you feel you're lagging behind, and it can make you feel like you're not doing enough. But here's the truth: your only competition should be the person you were yesterday, not someone else. Focusing on being better than you were yesterday, rather than trying to outdo anyone else, creates a more fulfilling, sustainable path to growth. The problem of comparing yourself to others is that it's an endless cycle. There will always be someone who's a step ahead of you, who seems to have it all together, or who's making strides in ways you haven't yet. But when you spend your time chasing someone else's progress, you lose sight of your own potential. The reality is their journey has nothing to do with yours. The only person who has the power to shape your future is you, and the only person you need to be better than is the version of yourself that you were yesterday. Improvement is not a race, it's a personal commitment. Everyone's timeline is different. Your success won't look like anyone else's. The key is to shift your focus inward, to measure progress by how far you've come, not by how far someone else has gone. When you start comparing yourself to others, you put pressure on yourself to conform to an idea of success that may not even be yours. But when you focus on your own growth, you empower yourself to make choices that align with your values, your goals, and your purpose. Focusing on being better than you were yesterday allows you to appreciate small, incremental improvements. Maybe you didn't land the promotion you wanted, but today you're a little bit more skilled, a little bit more confident, and a little bit closer to your goal. That's progress. Perhaps you didn't finish that project the way you imagined, but you learned something new in the process. That's progress. Each day is an opportunity to grow, to learn, and to take one more step toward becoming the person you want to be. The only way to truly measure growth is by comparing yourself to the person you were before. This mindset shifts the focus from external validation to internal fulfillment. When you stop trying to beat others, you can start celebrating your own victories. You're no longer chasing a standard that was set by someone else's achievements. Instead, you're setting your own standards and holding yourself accountable to your own progress. This is a far more rewarding and sustainable approach because it's rooted in self-awareness and self-compassion, rather than in the need for external recognition. Being better than you were yesterday doesn't mean you have to be perfect. It means you're constantly learning, growing, and pushing yourself to do a little more, be a little more, and go a little further than you did before. Some days will be harder than others, and that's okay. The journey to improvement isn't always linear, but as long as you're focused on moving forward, even in small ways, you're on the right track. So forget about what others are doing. Don't measure your progress by someone else's milestones. Focus on you. Focus on being better than the person you were yesterday. And with each passing day, you'll find yourself moving closer to the person you're meant to become. Success in 2025 and beyond won't be built on perfection. It will be built on consistency. It's easy to fall into the trap of thinking that success comes from hitting every mark flawlessly, that you need to get everything right the first time. The truth, however, is far different. Perfection is a myth, and it's a barrier that stops many people from even starting. The key to achieving success, to moving forward and growing, is the ability to show up every day, do the work, and keep pushing forward even when things aren't perfect. Consistency is the real engine behind success. It's the daily effort, the small actions, the habits you build that compound over time. Perfection, on the other hand, can paralyze you. When you're focused on doing something perfectly, you end up overthinking, second-guessing yourself, and stalling. The fear of not getting it right holds you back from even trying, and before you know it, you've wasted time that could have been spent taking action. But when you focus on consistency, the pressure is off. You don't need to be perfect, you just need to keep moving. Success isn't an overnight achievement, it's the result of small, consistent steps taken over time. Think about any person you admire for their accomplishments. What made them successful wasn't some grand moment of perfection, it was the fact that they kept showing up. They put in the work day after day, even when things didn't go as planned. They faced setbacks, made mistakes, and kept going. That's the power of consistency. It's about persistence, resilience, and doing what needs to be done, even when things aren't going according to plan. It's also important to recognize that success isn't just about reaching a goal, it's about the process, the grind, the day in, day out effort that makes you better, stronger, and more skilled. Perfection can sometimes take you away from the process as you focus on an end result rather than what you need to do to get there. When you're chasing perfection, you risk missing the lessons along the way. But with consistency, you allow yourself to learn, grow, and adapt with every step you take. Each small effort, each small mistake is an opportunity to get better, refine your skills, and improve your approach. Consistency also builds momentum. At first, your efforts might feel insignificant, and the results may not be immediately noticeable. But over time, those small, consistent actions compound. The things you do every day start to add up, and before you know it, you've made tremendous progress. Success isn't a sprint, it's a marathon. And the way you win that marathon is by consistently putting one foot in front of the other, even when the finish line seems far away. In 2025, don't get caught up in the chase for perfection. Instead, focus on building consistency. Show up every day, put in the effort, and trust that the results will come. Remember, it's not about being perfect. It's about being consistent. And with consistency, success will follow. Big wins are not achieved overnight. They are the result of countless small victories, the daily actions, the moments of persistence that build up over time. We live in a world that celebrates the grand achievements, the big promotions, the major breakthroughs, the trophies, but we often overlook the power of small wins. The truth is, those small victories are the foundation of everything. They are the building blocks that, when stacked together, create the path to success. It's crucial then to learn to honor your progress, no matter how small it seems. Small victories are easy to dismiss. You might think that checking off a to-do list or making incremental improvements isn't enough to celebrate. You might compare yourself to others and feel like your progress doesn't measure up. But that mindset will only hold you back. Every step forward, no matter how small, is a victory. It's a step closer to your goals, a little bit more progress in the right direction. When you honor these moments, you shift your focus from the overwhelming, often unreachable, big picture to the tangible, achievable steps right in front of you. Recognizing and celebrating small wins helps to build momentum. Each victory, no matter how minor, reinforces the belief that progress is possible. It fuels your motivation, making it easier to continue pushing forward, even on tough days. You'll find that small wins create a ripple effect in your life. They build your confidence, boost your energy, and remind you that you are capable. When you take the time to honor your progress, you acknowledge the effort it took to get where you are, and that recognition is essential for continued growth. Honoring small victories is also about shifting your mindset. It's easy to get discouraged when the big goals seem so far out of reach, but when you focus only on the end result, you overlook the value of the journey. Success is not just about reaching a destination, it's about the process of growth, learning and developing along the way. Each small victory is a lesson, a step in the right direction, a reflection of your dedication. When you honor those moments, you acknowledge the importance of the process. You learn to value your effort, not just the outcome. Moreover, honoring your progress means practicing gratitude for the hard work you've put in, even when the results are not immediately visible. Progress is rarely linear, and setbacks will inevitably occur. But small victories are still victories, and they should be celebrated. They are proof that you're moving forward, even when it feels slow. And celebrating those moments makes it easier to keep going, especially when the road ahead seems long and challenging. Big wins are the culmination of all the small victories you achieve along the way. They don't happen in a vacuum, they are the result of consistent effort, dedication, and persistence. Learning to honor your progress helps you appreciate the journey and builds the resilience you need to face the challenges ahead. Every step counts. Every effort is meaningful. So celebrate your small wins. They're the foundation of everything you'll achieve. As we stand on the threshold of 2025, it's important to take a moment and reflect on the principles that will guide us through this year and beyond. This is not a time to be overwhelmed by the pressures of perfection or the noise of others' expectations. Instead, it's a time to focus on what truly matters: your own journey. Life is not a race against anyone else, but a personal path of growth, learning, and resilience. By embracing the idea that your life is a book and that you are the author, you can reclaim control of your narrative. Don't let anyone else hold the pen. Your story is yours to write, and every decision you make adds a new chapter. As you move forward in 2025, it's essential to remember that success is not a single event, but a series of small, consistent steps. It's about being better than you were yesterday, not measuring yourself against someone else's progress. When you focus on your own growth, you honor your unique journey. Comparison can only steal your joy and derail your path. Your progress should be measured by how far you've come, not by how far someone else has gone. Each small victory, no matter how insignificant it may seem, is a step closer to your goals. Consistency, not perfection, is the key to success. You don't need to get everything right from the start. What matters is that you show up, put in the effort, and keep going, even when things don't go as planned. The road to success is built on resilience, persistence, and the ability to keep moving forward, no matter how many obstacles you face. Remember, the most successful people didn't get there by being perfect. They got there by being consistent, by continuing to learn, adapt, and grow. Don't focus on perfection, focus on the process and the small steps that will lead you to your bigger goals. Protecting your energy is also crucial in this journey. It's easy to get caught up in distractions, to say yes to every request, to spread yourself thin in an attempt to please everyone around you. But if you want to stay focused and achieve your goals, you must learn the power of saying no. Saying no doesn't make you selfish, it makes you self-aware. By setting boundaries and protecting your energy, you ensure that you have enough to invest in what truly matters to you, whether it's your career, your passions, or your well-being. In the end, big wins are built on small victories. It's the accumulation of those small moments, those little steps, that create lasting success. So as you move through 2025, honor your progress, celebrate the small victories. Every step forward, no matter how small, is a testament to your growth, your effort, and your commitment. Success is not about perfection, it's about the journey, and that journey is built on consistent action, self-awareness, and the courage to keep going. Embrace the process, honor your progress, and focus on being better than you were yesterday. This is your year to rise, to grow, and to create a future that is uniquely yours. So as 2025 unfolds, focus on you, your path, your growth, your joy. Don't worry about the critics or the spectators. They're not in the arena with you. You are. This is your year to rise, your year to shine, your year to focus. Own it. Thank you.